listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast by Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb, Dr. Frederick J. Long, Dr. Mario Melendez, Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and J. M. Smith. Welcome and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Proof Text. I'm Michael Halcomb, and in this episode we are doing we're having a look at Hebrew vocabulary. So that makes this a Hebrew Growcabulary episode because we're trying to grow our vocabulary. The word that we have in mind today is the Hebrew term amad, and that's spelled Ayin Mem Dalet, amad, and it has the connotation or the meaning of to stand, amad. And so what I'm going to do here is open up stepbible.org. We're going to look at that. And if you're watching, you're going to be able to see that on your screen. If you're just listening, that's fine too. But we're thinking again about amad, and it has to do with to stand. Now, that can carry a number of different senses. It can mean to just physically stand in some place, but it can also mean to stand with with a person of power or authority, or it can mean to stand in a position of power or authority. It can mean to stand with a certain status, right? So like every Hebrew word, it has layers of meaning that it can denote. So that's what we're thinking about. I'm going to open up stepbible.org and we're going to look at this together. And so here we go. I have the Hebrew Old Testament open. I'm going to set my keyboard to Hebrew and begin typing. So there we go. We have amad. You can see some options come up. We're interested in this first one, which appears about 526 times, and you can see the glosses to stand or stand. So we'll click that and just look at a few entries here. The first occasion of this word is in Genesis 18:8, and it's omed. Now, one quick thing about pronunciation. A lot of people just treat the ayin as if it's a empty letter, like a placeholder. So here you have a ayin with a holem, and so most people would say omed. I'm gonna do a little bit of a guttural, like a hiccup there. Omed, 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 omed. You can hear it. Omed. So I'm gonna get the in there as much as I can. It's hard when it's often the first letter of a word. We also get in Genesis 18:22 omed, and in Genesis 19:17 ta'amud, ta'amud, ta'amud. So we have a tav with the patak under it, and then we got the ayin with the vowel. So we got ta'amud, ta'amud, ta'amud. And then in Genesis 19:7 we got the ayin with the comments under it, amad, amad. And again, all this has to do with standing. In Genesis 43:15, we have vaya. So we have vaya medu, vaya medu, vaya medu, vaya medu, vaya medu. So it's kind of tricky. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop there, and I'll say a good mnemonic device for this. One that I think of, you might think it's silly or crazy or whatever, is I remember this old sportscaster named Ahmad Rashad, and of course he would be standing in the studio a lot before in front of the camera, or standing in front of the camera and presenting his sports news. And so I think of Ahmad standing there in that sports center, standing there in front of that camera. Ahmad. You may not like that one. You may not know who that is, but you can come up with your own, whatever works for you. All right, so I'm going to stop there. Ahmad, it means to stand. I hope that helps.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.